They say performance has an expiration date. But what if they're wrong? No matter where you start, the goal's the same: to be better, stronger, wiser, bolder. We're here for the relentless, those that don't back down, don't compromise, and don't quit. This is training for Masters athletes by Masters athletes, with a community that holds you steady. So say goodbye to random workouts, because whether you're stepping into following a program for the first time or stepping onto the podium, your journey starts here.
All right, guys, it's a Masters of Motion podcast. I'm Jason Grubb. I'm here with Rick Stevenson, and we are here to talk about the quarterfinal workouts. They were released today. There's a lot of things to talk about, not just the workouts, but like the fact that they were released today, and the quarterfinals don't start until, as we scratch our heads, until Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
So yeah, welcome,
Day
Rick.
12. Hey, good to see you. You and I talk
Yes.
a couple of times during the week, but this is official. It feels like for those of you that are really planning on a long season, this really feels real now. You know, the Open is just kind of the beginning of the season, feeling everything out, and it still feels like winter for those in the northern hemisphere. But now it's getting real. So welcome to quarterfinals.
And only 4 workouts. Not upset.
No, not upset, but surprised. Maybe we'll have more for semis.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that would be the case. We had a CrossFit Athlete Council call last Thursday. It was a really good call because it had already been announced that the workouts were going to be released today, even though quarterfinals don't start till Thursday. So there was some discussions, certainly some discussions around that. Some feedback from the council with some concerns.
Yeah, somebody probably raised their hand and said, "Hey, why release a Monday and not Thursday at noon Pacific? What's the reason behind that, Mr. CrossFit?"
That was the primary reason.
Yep.
Or the primary question. And the reason that was given was multiple layers to it. But one was they want to make the quarterfinals as easy for the affiliate owner as possible.
Right. Large number of people. You may have certain gyms that have dozens of athletes doing quarterfinals. So they want to give them plenty of runway to set up the gym, set up heat times, plan for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and how to operate that within their gym space. Because you have to do this at an affiliate in good standing. There's 2 parts. I'm going to take a quick divergence here. By the way, if you were unable to get to an affiliate, so I have a friend that's in Dubai right now, and the gyms in Dubai are not guaranteed to be open because there's war happening in the areas. Yep.
He was given an exception. This is not a super public thing from CrossFit, but if you are in a situation where you literally cannot get to a gym, what they end up doing is they end up requiring you to have a judge and a head judge, very semifinals like. So 2 judges in order to submit your score. I don't believe there's a video, but at least 2 judges. So it's an inconvenience, but it's possible for those that
larger issues to worry about over there in the Middle East than securing a second judge.
But coming back to the affiliate, so you have to do an affiliate with in good standing, and they want to keep that load for the affiliate manageable. The other thing is with video submissions. So we've historically had video requirements, and they said, that is one of those, high cost items for an affiliate. High cost, high friction, not high cost, but friction. So you have these athletes that are doing quarterfinals maybe for the first time. You got this affiliate manager running all of this stuff, and you have to bring this video piece into it, and it adds this level of complexity. And so they wanted to keep the workload light for athletes and for affiliate managers. And from the CrossFit perspective, I get that. And they said that they had talked to affiliates. They had done surveys with a handful of a certain amount of affiliates. They didn't say, and this was the feedback that was given. Of course, there were certainly people on the council that own affiliates that had their own concerns, like about this as athletes and as owners. But the CrossFit just said, hey, if somebody chooses to do the workout on Tuesday or Wednesday, there have to be 3 people lying. You have to have the affiliate owner, the judge, and the athlete all lying, saying that they're in there. Now, this is all theoretical, man. Our feedback as the affiliate council, we're just like, hey, you you could turn on video review. You could do that, or you could say, and they've done this in the past, Rick, where they've said one or more of your videos may be requested of you.
That's always
athletes.
A good one. Yep,
and that
I love that one.
Scares us. So we're all just like, all right, I'm gonna have my video ready just in case they ask for it.
I really wish they would have done that. Damn.
Then they could have a password that says, hey, Thursday at noon, the password is released, and you tattoo it on your leg or you write it on your forehead. So you make sure you give that password. That's what we've done in the past. For those of you that this is your first quarterfinal, you got a password. You started the workout once the password, and you had to video all of it. You had to show the date on your phone or have some sort of date verification when you did your video. That's not here. This is like the open, but another step with a little bit harder workouts. The other big change is that in the open, your score is auto-validated unless your affiliate manager invalidates your score. In quarterfinals, your score is not valid until the affiliate manager validates your score. And that is a huge point. I have already got our affiliate owner or manager. I'm like, dude, Tuesday, set your alarm. Set an appointment, whatever. I will be all over you to make sure that you verify or validate the scores, because
you have until Wednesday, and they said that on the podcast today. Boz said I would hate by Wednesday if the validation has not occurred by the affiliate owner or the affiliate manager, the scores will disappear. So that is rough, and they said we would hate to have that happen, but that's what's going to happen.
And there would be people that do that. So that's, again, we've got a lot of really respectable athletes on the affiliate council, coaches, owners who pressed on this topic, and CrossFit, they take all of our feedback, and they have acted on feedback in the past. In this case, they said, this is what we're doing this year. We'll take your feedback into consideration for next year. It was really clear. They knew that we were coming. They knew we were coming to be like, what are you doing? Guns a-blazing.
Yeah. Yep.
But they handle it well. They have a plan. I think they realized the affiliate cup last year wasn't a big hit. Quarterfinals is much more popular, but they still want to keep it fairly light and obviously accessible. They hinted that the workouts would be very accessible, and now that we have them released, they are workouts that a lot of people can do.
Correct.
So that's something.
Yeah, I think you'll notice, and we'll get into this, but the difficult movement, if you will call it, like a strict handstand push-up, or I'll say a moderately to heavy deadlift, or a bar muscle up. They all come at the end. You can, as Boz was making the point, you can get points on the board, reps on the board before you got to, if you are an athlete that has a sticking point like that, at least you can participate. And for some people, that's going to be very important. So
it is.
Don't discount that.
No, not at all. And it is 4 tests. It's, someone may struggle with bar muscle-ups, or they might struggle with strict handstand push-ups, but it is 4 full tests. And that often brings out, like, you've got to work through all of them. It's the total score. So if you don't get a lot of strict handstand push-ups, but you complete all the other workouts and you're fairly competitive, you might punch a ticket to semifinals.
Yeah.
Because again, with 4 tests, it's not as well-rounded as 5 or 6 tests. There's no heavy lift. There's not. It's okay. It's still a test, and doing well could get you into at least in affiliate semifinals, or if you're in the top 40, or depending on the invite, an in-person invite as well.
For 35 to 54 age groups, top 400 men and top 400 women will get an invitation to semifinals with no backfilling. I did read that.
Yes.
And for 14 to 17-year-olds, the teenage group plus the 55 and older set, both men and women, top 300 get an invitation to semifinals. So still a very wide net, a bigger net than last year where it was 200. Went from open to semifinals. Very cut and dry. Another layer.
The other thing that HQ said about quarterfinals is that no one is qualifying for the games from this competition.
Yeah. Yep.
When it does come to that, semifinals, you have in-person semifinals with judges, you have in-affiliate semifinals, which require head judge in person, and video review. So this is another bridge you got to get over to get to semifinals to go for it. And okay, so it is what it is.
The other one thing, because they're not asking for a video, or not even the threat of, we might ask you for one, I think what might keep a little of the shenanigans away, I'm not sure, but some perhaps, it's a blind leaderboard. In the open, somebody submits a score, you're kind of getting an idea where the range is and who the person is, and you start doing some,
detective work. Here, good luck. Blind leaderboard, there is no two do it one time and two do it the next time. It is all of them do. They'll open up the leaderboard. You'll see it when it's closed at Monday, 12 noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. So
that's a great point, Rick.
Good luck. So if you do not want to share, you have no idea where anybody else is.
I'll tell you, Rick. I'll tell you where I am. Don't worry.
Likewise. I'm not scaring anybody. Don't worry.
So yeah, should we jump into these workouts?
Sure.
All
Absolutely.
Right.
There's only 4.
I mean, there's only 4.
Yeah. I mean, heck, I'm sure you have dinner to get to. So that could be
I do have
important. Dinner. Yeah, you have dinner. It's Monday night and it's going to be a long week. Just think about it. It'll be all done in a week. Workout number 1 for time, 12-minute cap. Also some longer caps, actually, given that we've had shorter caps in the past. 12-minute cap on workout number 1. Pretty simple structure here. 10 50-foot shuttle runs, 20 overhead squats, 30 burpees over the bar, rest 1 minute exactly, then work right back down. 30 burpees over the bar, 20 overhead squats, and 10 50-foot shuttle runs. 10, 20, 30, rest a minute, 30, 20, 10. Sounds simple. It's gonna stink. Let's put it that way.
It is going to. The fact that the 60 burpees are snugged up right in the middle of this thing.
Yuck.
And you have this 1 minute, which, I mean, I love having a 1 minute rest in there. I think that's really artistic. It's generous. It's a gift. It's nice of them. You could get to that. You could get there. If you race through those 30 burpees, you could spend half of that time laying on the floor. But I think that would be a huge mistake. Maybe some people will do that. I think that's a mistake. I think you get to that and be able to walk off, and then you're just going to start it right back up. That is going to be the fastest minute, I think, of all time, Rick.
And with the 12-minute cap, that means you only can work 11 minutes max.
That's
a lot of work for 11 minutes.
Yes, this is actually, I did all the math. I am working on a YouTube video to share, and I had all the math worked out for the video. I literally don't remember it now that it's not in front of me, but it's something like 5.5 seconds per rep to get through it, something like that. It's not, you don't have a lot of time, and the shuttle runs take a long time. So let's break it down. Like, first of all, like, if you haven't done a shuttle run in CrossFit, you have to run 25 out, cross both feet across the line, touch the ground with a hand, and run back. That is 1 rep.
1 rep.
1 rep. This is a common mistake. And honestly, it's hard to count. Even if you're counting for yourself, even counting to 10 is tricky. We've had quarterfinals in the past that had 50 of these. 50. That was 100 lengths.
Yes.
Twice.
I remember
at
that.
The beginning and the end of a work. It's one of the worst quarterfinal workouts I've ever experienced. Thank God this is just 10 and 10, sandwiched in there. And but yeah, it's 25 down and back. It's that. It's not 50. It's 25 and 25 feet, and then translate that in the meters, whatever that is.
Down and back has to equal 1. There is always something lost in translation where down is 1, back is 2. That is not it.
It's not.
So there will be some blazing time out there, and you'll be like, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Right. There's nothing you can do. There's not even video. You can't check it. It's just going to be some weird stuff.
Also, I'll say starting 1, finishing 1. Starting 2, finishing 2. I almost talk to myself in them, to be honest with you.
I always double count. Like, if I'm doing 5, I count to 10.
10.
I know my brain. I know the way my brain works. Sometimes I'll think 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, but then it's not good. It's not good. I just count. I do the same thing when I swim. It's not 150 meters. It's 6 laps. That's 150. I have to think in those terms. So I got to count to 10. That's just me. And hopefully I've got a judge that can count as well. Like, judging this, like, you have to be on it to judge this. So you've got that. Then overhead squats.
Yes. 20.
The 2 things that we're going to see on overhead squats and that people need to pay attention to, and judges need to pay attention to, is squat depth. You've got to get below parallel. Hips have to go below the knees, and overhead squats can get really tricky. So make sure that's there. And then on the top, when you're doing fast overhead squats, those hips can be really muted on the top. So you have hips in line with your shoulders. Everything is stacked, not muted, which is a really common fault on overhead squats.
And with no video, I saw this and I was like, oh, here we go again.
Wait till we get to dumbbell hang cleans. We'll talk about a lot of faults.
Okay.
But overhead squats, like, look, there's a couple of integrities here when you do the workout. And I don't know why I want to say, even more importantly, doing reps that count. You know, the workouts are released, and people will make up their minds about that. But if they do crappy reps, I don't know why that makes me even more upset. because you do bad reps and you move faster, and that is not the point. Have a judge that'll clear your reps well, and or just make sure your reps are clean, or video yourself, or post it to YouTube, whatever you want to do to give yourself the chance to have the best. Just in your mind, like, I did good reps.
So 20 overhead squats, which we will assume will be good reps. And then it is 30 lateral burpees over the bar. So we finished with lateral burpees in 26.3, and we're doing lateral burpees again in semifinal workout number 1. So,
I like them.
Enjoy the burpees.
I liked them in 26.3. I like them. There's less movement in them than a bar facing burpee.
Mm-hmm.
I think a bar facing burpee is a harder burpee for sure, generally. So the lateral is nice. For me, I just like to stay nice and low, like almost like a floppy doll. Like I stay so low that it's just a barely hop, skipping over, and then just splat on one side. And I use my step up to help me even with my push up. I try to get that first leg so far up that literally my leg is doing most of the work to get me up off the ground. I mean, if you could see me visually, I'm literally like flopping my arms over. And 60 again, this is just going to be a gross level.
That's a grind. Yeah, it's a grind. That's going to take a good part of the time. There's no doubt. So you're going to rest your minute, do your 30 lateral burpees again, pick up the bar, 20 quality overhead squats, and then it'll be probably very close to the cap for the layperson. Start with your final 10 50-foot shuttle runs. Down and back is 1.
Do you like this workout, Rick?
Yes, because the overhead squats for the women are 80 and for the men are 115 for the majority of the age groups. In a silo, yes. I just think I'll be very close to the cap on this guy because I just know my burpee pace.
And with only 11 minutes of work.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yep.
I do. Yeah, I don't have a problem with this one at all.
As far as order of workouts, I'm going to do this workout first. I think, I'm doing this workout first. That's my plan. My total order of workouts, which we'll get to, but I am doing this one first. I think it makes sense. I don't think there's a lot of, you're not going to carry a lot of fatigue from this workout into the next day. No. If you've got a good 24 hours of rest and a decent night's sleep, no big deal.
Right. Good hard training session.
But all these workouts will mess with each other. There's no way around that.
By Monday, the majority of the community will be feeling it. Trust me.
Yep.
Yeah. Workout number 2, 15-minute time cap now, so 3 more minutes. This is, Boz said he was very happy to bring this back. It's a choose-your-own-adventure style. 4-time, complete anyhow, any way, I should say you want. 80 dumbbell, double dumbbell, hang squat cleans, 40 bar muscle-ups. 120 reps, time cap 15 minutes. The weight, 35 pounds for the women, 50 pounds for the men. That's for the majority of the age groups. And then teenagers and masters 55 and up get some lighter dumbbells. But 120 reps, there will be a tie break time here after you get 60 reps done. However you get to the number of 60, that'll be your tie break time. But choose your own adventure. Do them straight through, partition it up, do them in the reverse. Whatever.
Man,
probably to your strength as an athlete. Figure it out what's going to work best for you.
I tested this a little bit today, played with it. In fact, I did post to Instagram a little bit of if you want to prime your system a little bit. I've got a few EMOMs that I actually did today. As soon as the workouts were announced, I threw them into EMOMs and I practiced, literally touched everything that we would do and posted it out there. But I did test, a rhythm of 8 hang squat cleans. I had already done bar muscle-ups as part of a primer earlier, so I did ring muscle-ups, but just to feel the stimulus. But I think 8 squat cleans and then 4 bar muscle-ups. Do that in an EMOM, like 8 on 1 minute, 4 on another minute for 6 minutes, just to feel this out. But I'll tell you, 8 hang squat cleans
is a lot.
I think that's about as many as I want to do in a set.
Yeah, and if you're saying that,
I was initially thinking, Rick, I was like, yeah, I could probably go like, I don't know, there's all kinds of different math equations I did, but at one point I was at 12 or even 16 hang squat cleans because I've got a good bar muscle up capacity, but there's not a chance. There's no way. This for me is probably a 10-round workout, probably 4 and 8 or 8 and 4. 8 squat cleans, 4 muscle ups. And then just do that for 10 rounds.
And hope that you're going to get through the cap.
It's fascinating. I mean, if you do that as an EMOM, you're at 10 minutes. If you go a little faster, you could go a little bit faster at the beginning, but it's going to catch you towards the end. Round 5 and 6 is when it's going to get really dirty, really, really dirty, because those hang squat cleans are just cumbersome. It's a lot of time under tension.
You're thinking EMOM to get the 8 and the 4 done. Yeah, that's the problem.
Minute.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's tight. 8 hang squat cleans took like 20 seconds, 23 seconds maybe. And then if you just took a stroll, it's 5 feet away from the bar. So a stroll to the bar, 5 bar muscle ups, breathing, relaxing, ideally, if that's the kind of bar muscle up that you have. So for me, it's breathing and relaxing on those probably for the first half of those. And then they're going to get spicy towards the end. And then a casual walk back to the dumbbell, where literally that transition, you've got 2 transitions in each one of those 10 rounds. So you can't lose a ton of time there. You're going to move with a purpose in my mind, but this is a time to shake out your hands, take a couple breaths, do 4 muscle ups, shake out your hands, take a couple breaths, get back to the hang cleans. This could also be done smaller. The challenge at any point is the transitions start to really add up, and that chews up a lot of times.
And even if you break the 8 into 4 and 4, there's going to be time lost there.
Transition in there.
What if your grip is just absolutely screaming, and you're like,
and you cannot use Genesis grips on the hang cleans. That has to be bare hand. So that's something to very much pay attention to. For those that this is 40 bar muscle ups. For some people, 40 bar muscle ups in 12 minutes is actually a PR, without 80 hang cleans. So this is where some higher skill comes to play. And getting to the midpoint, that's where the tiebreaker is at 60 reps. Athletes will want to play to their strengths to get to the 60 reps as quick as possible if they don't plan on finishing the workout.
Correct.
So that may be front loaded on muscle ups for someone who's really great at muscle ups, or someone who's going to struggle at muscle ups. They may front load a bunch of hang squat cleans and maybe get through a bunch of hang squat cleans and then start mixing in some more muscle up attempts. I don't know.
Right.
You want to keep it as simple as possible, which is for me 10 rounds, but also as doable as possible, which sometimes can get messy with smaller sets. So you just need a judge that can count as well.
And keep track. I'm not worried about what the tie break is at that moment, because I will be in 8s and 4s or 4 and 4 and 4. And I'm like,
tell me when I'm at 60.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just work is what you're going to do.
And here's a trick of the trade. If you don't want to worry about that tie break and you've got lots of math going on, just record the workout. Get a timer and record the workout.
Absolutely.
And you can count afterwards. Okay, my tie break was at 7.5 minutes. Okay, phew, I've got that. And keep the load lighter on your judge. Maybe that's an idea.
I'm recording anyways. Yeah. I just do it. Workout 3. Hey, we're back to another 12-minute time cap. 3 rounds of 50 double unders and 10 deadlifts at the first weight, which is your lightest weight. Then you move into 2 rounds of 50 double unders and 10 deadlifts at your second weight, and finishing with 1 round, 50 double unders and 10 deadlifts at your heaviest weights. For, by and large, the majority of the age groups, the weights are 155, 185, and 225 for the ladies, 225, 275, and 315 for the men. Again, check out the age group breakdowns for the lighter loads for the younger teenagers and the older masters. That's a lot. And again, 12 minutes, 3 rounds, 2 rounds, and 1 round. You have to have your double under skill clicking. I'll say that.
This may be my favorite one, although double unders can at times trip me up. What I have to do like 100 or 200 double unders before the workout starts to get my neural prime going, and then I've got double unders.
I discovered that today in your programming.
Yes, yeah. It's literally like the last round. I finally am good.
Yeah,
I'm good at
exactly. So that make your practice with a purpose.
This is a lot of reps. It's 60 total deadlifts, and before you even get to the 50, the heaviest deadlift. I'm sorry. Before you even get to the 10 at 315 for men, you've already done 50 deadlifts at that point. So that's a good one. I like it. I think it's totally accessible, and it's just really a deadlift capacity test with a high heart rate.
Yeah, it's going to get ugly too. 315 is a weight that, if you have aspirations for semifinals for men, and let me make sure I get my number right, 225 for the ladies, you should be able to move that weight. It should not stop you dead in your tracks, but there's something said at the beginning of a workout or fresh, as opposed to when you're going to touch that heaviest weight of 315 and 225 after, what is that, 250, 300 double unders?
Yeah.
plus all the other deadlifts prior to it.
Yep, and not a lot of extra time, not a ton of time. And this is one of those workouts where breaking up early, deadlifts tend to do this in workouts where we have deadlifts. It tends to make sense to break up early. You know, someone who can rip sets of 10 on deadlifts, it's great, but this is a cumulative build as far as the heart rate goes and the taxing of the posterior chain. So going sets of 10 might be okay, but it may not be the best strategy to get through that second set at 275 and that final set at 315. You know, everything is great until you get to those latter sets, and that 275 is real heavy after 30 reps. You know, it's just not pretty. I do love the fact that it's only 10 reps. This is not a workout that will absolutely destroy your posterior chain. This won't kill you. The volume is not enough. Like, we've had an open workout historically that was box jumps and deadlifts, and you got so deep in that workout, and it was so many deadlifts. This is 2016.
And it was heavy, wasn't it?
Yeah, very heavy.
Yeah.
You increased the rep scheme with increases in weights. You know, I like that this is, we're actually decreasing the total reps as we increase the weights. That's
the way it should be.
Like how this is designed. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
This is definitely finishable for those that have good double under capacity and deadlift capacity, but it's definitely going to hurt. And thankfully, in my mind, you finish with deadlift, not finish with double unders. That just makes it happier. So you finish that last deadlift and you're done.
Okay.
Got to watch out for a couple of things on this one. Oh, you know what? I want to take a step back. Two things to think about on the workout with the dumbbell hang squat cleans. We didn't mention this. You can do a couple of things in that to get no reps, and judges need to pay attention to this. I think it's a big deal. So one thing that's really nice is you can do the first squat clean from the floor. Okay. You just go straight into that first squat clean, and then everyone after that is a hang squat clean. So that is allowed. That's great. But second, people will get into a rhythm of the hang squat clean, and they'll stand up, and the dumbbell will be coming off their shoulder as they reset their feet for the next squat clean. That is not a finished rep. A finished rep finishes with your feet under you and dumbbells on your shoulders. This is going to be rampant. Andrew Hiller will love these videos because people
any videos that he gets a hold of. Yeah.
Dude, the dumbbells will be off their shoulders. We were practicing today and we're like, this is a really nice rhythm. This is a no rep.
Yep.
Just as we practice, we're like, well, crap, this is actually, to make this a clean rep, you can't get into a great rhythm.
It has to be deliberate. And deliberate means a little slower, and a little slower is not what everybody wants. This is fitness racing right now.
Yes.
That's the thing. So,
yeah, it's going to be messy. And same thing with deadlifts. Deadlifts that don't stand up all the way are rampant in these types of events, right? You just have to lock out your hips. And a great way to show your judge that you're locked out is lift your chin, face the wall in front of you, or look at the wall ahead of you. Like, a head down looks like your hips are muted. A head up looks like your hips are open. And oftentimes it means that your hips are actually open. So make it clear for your judge. I can't wait to no rep some of the guys I train with. Let's go. If they're listening, I'm going to no rep.
CrossFitters who don't open up on deadlifts are like high roxers who don't squat below parallel.
Seriously, right? It's easier. It's certainly easier to not open your hips.
Absolutely.
Or pound the floor,
and bounce that barbell.
Yep.
I know. I'm not bouncing anything at 315. I'll tell you that much.
That's not happening. It doesn't. I've tried. It just doesn't want to.
No way. For you younger ones out there, good luck. Workout number 4, 20-minute cap. What's that signal to you? As soon as you see a 20-minute cap, you're like, there's a reason. And sure enough, you start doing the math. 4-time 1,000-meter row, 30 clean and jerks, 1,000-meter row, 30 strict handstand push-ups. The weights for the females are 95. Weights for the males are 135. And again, check your age groups for appropriate loading because the weights do go down for the older masters. So what do you think?
Dude, I did an EMOM today with a 250-meter row, 5 clean and jerks, 250-meter row, 5 handstand push-ups, strict handstand push-ups. The row into the clean and jerk. We're like, wow, I got a little tired there. 200-meter row, or 250 in a minute, and then 5 clean and jerks. And wow, were those clean and jerks just immediately a little bit spicy. And it wasn't a 1,000-meter row into them, and it wasn't 30 clean and jerks. So this is like any one of those workouts that opens with a row. Man, mistakes can be made so easily because it feels good. you row that first 500 in like a 140 pace, and you're like, I am just crushing it. You pick up the bar on that clean and jerk, and it punches you. So this is a pacing workout, smart pacing workout, because the clean and jerks are going to get tough.
You're doing grace.
You're doing grace in between
all this other
2,000
work.
meter rows.
Yeah.
And then after that, you've got 30 clean and jerks at a high heart rate with fatigued shoulders.
30 handstand push-ups.
What did I say? Yeah, what did I say? Yeah, handstand push-ups. Yeah.
30 strict handstand push-ups.
Yes.
That's the thing. I'm sorry, strict. So
I love
that's a
strict.
separator. Yes, that's a separator.
Yep. And I think athletes are going to get there, in that, let's call it conservative row, really conservative. Let's call it a 4-minute row, very conservative.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Maybe call it 4 minutes on grace, super conservative there. 4 minutes on row, you're at 12 minutes. So you have 8 minutes for 30 handstand push-ups, and this will still be tricky for a good amount of athletes, because they are going to get there and there's going to be a lot of fatigue. It's anytime we've gotten to workouts where we have these strict handstand push-ups at the end, you're like, I'm good. And you do like, I've made the mistake before. I've done like 12 and then like 6 and then 3, then
singles.
2. I mean, huge trouble.
Because you'll be breathing hard from your accumulated work, but when the strict handstand push-ups go for me, it's muscle failure.
Yes.
I might not be breathing hard at all, but the shoulders just stop. So
yeah, if you get to muscle failure on strict handstand push-ups, you've made a huge mistake.
Correct.
It is very, very hard to recover. But if you think about it like this, like imagine you get there and maybe you, on a good day, you've got 2 or 3 strict handstand push-ups unbroken. You're just going to go singles. And if you had 8 minutes to do a single rep, maybe every 15 seconds or so, I think you're going to find yourself, let's say that before, you're going to get close. The math doesn't work perfectly, but if you're upside down in the handstand and you're not sure if you're going to get that next rep,
come down.
Do not try that next rep, right?
Correct.
We've done it. Yep. You've done it. I've done it. Like,
just collapse off the wall.
And now it's the eccentric, particularly on a strict handstand push-up for me, the eccentric movement to keep me from collapsing and crushing my neck. The descent is as much work for me. And that's where I get a lot of fatigue. So even though I think I got one more, that descent actually drops all of the energy out of my arms and I lose that press out. And it's gross when that happens. So
there will still be some ninjas out there.
Although, there will be ninjas. There will be, but it was a surprisingly fatiguing stimulus just going from a quick row to the clean and jerks to the row to the handstand push-ups. I went through that 3 times and I was like, wow, I'm pretty tired. And I didn't really do that much work. So thinking about combining all of that together, I think it's going to be a surprising amount of fatigue when we get to the handstand push-ups. I in my mind, I'm planning for those to be very challenging handstand push-ups when I get there.
Athletes may receive assistance resetting the rower to 0 before each row. I just wanted to remind people of that.
Yes. And you can have 3 barbells on the deadlifts.
Yes,
you can have assistance or 3 barbells. That's also great. Thank God.
Yeah, that helps. And I'm sure any rower works, right? Rogue or C2. Yep. I didn't see that anywhere, but I think the Rogue rowers now are pretty, not that a lot of gyms have them, but if you have access to them, they're pretty universal.
They're great. I have one.
And I'm
pretty now.
Yeah, and again, there's no videos, so for crying out loud.
Yeah, right? I mean,
row on a water rower for all we care right now. That's crazy.
I'll use the rower at the gym, which is C2. We'll just use that one.
Exactly.
Overall, it's these workouts are workout 1 is a grinder with a rest period in the middle. Workout 2 is grip and pulling endurance, huge grip and pulling endurance. Workout 3 is deadlifts under fatigue. Workout 4 is this well-balanced test, right? You got, monostructural row, you've got weightlifting, clean and jerk, monostructural row, strict gymnastics. I don't hate any of the workouts. I'm not in love with any of them. I don't look at any of them and say like, this is my workout to crush. I can normally call a workout, but they're all just a bunch of hard work. And as far as order goes, you were asking me before we started recording, I think my order that I like, well, first of all, I'll say this. I don't think any order matters. I think these all overlap in such a way that they're all going to affect each other a little bit. But if you're doing 1 a day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday as a retest day, I think you're fine. So you got 24 hours to recover in between. But my thought is 1, 3, 2, 4. And you asked me why. And my primary reason is that I don't want 3 and 4 to be back to back.
Right. Okay.
I don't want heavy deadlifts and then rowing to be back to back. So I want something in between them. So I have 2 in between them. It could be basically, I don't even care what order they are in, as long as 3 and 4 aren't back to back.
Or not together. Okay.
That's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have to know yourself as an athlete.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That strategizing with a coach, strategizing with some training partner that knows you well.
Totally. We're hearing,
asking Gemini or Chat, what should I do?
Listening to what other people are doing. I mean, there's going to be people testing these things out in the next couple of days. People will be playing with them.
Yep.
I'm getting text message of people like playing with, doing half of it. And, there's a little bit of feedback that comes from all the people that share. And then you're just like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. But when it comes down, I wish that they would just tell us what order to do them in. I just like that. I wish there was no choice.
Yes, I really like that. I like it when there's the gate in between the days.
Best.
1 and 2 are due Saturday, and 3 and 4 are due Monday by the end of the time.
I get it though. Give the affiliates a chance to do this however they want to.
Correct. This is just a step in the process.
So judges, you got to have a certified judge or someone's taking the judges course this year or who has the advanced judges course. What do you have? Advanced judges course?
Advanced from last year.
Me too, man.
Yeah. And I went and checked on my dashboard. It's good for 3 years.
Yes.
So I have no problem whatsoever.
A buddy of mine sent me a message saying he took the advanced judges course last year and it's not showing up on his dashboard. I was like, oh my God. So I went to my dashboard really quick. It's there. And I was like, okay, phew, that's one less thing.
It has a start date and an expiration date. It should. Yep.
Yeah. So Rick, you have a little bit, you are not at an affiliate, so you've got to do a little bit of coordination to get to an affiliate to do all this.
Yep.
I know you've talked about that.
A couple of training partners and I think we have a solution relatively close by at an affiliate in good standing with another athlete or 2 that are going to be doing quarterfinals as well. So, and not a very overloaded class schedule. So lots of time blocks along the path of the days. Now, there is that thing called work that's in the middle of this, and I've got to figure that all out. But it's what Saturday and Sunday are for.
That's what Saturdays. I mean, the CIA won't let you off the hook. I know.
No, they won't.
They don't. Kidding me? I mean, especially with what's going on, like you got to work on these days, and they got to make sure that your intelligence is essential to the state. But yeah, it is. Thankfully, again, it goes back to that. Semifinals and quarterfinals tend to be a little bit disruptive schedules. At least there's only 4 workouts. This could be done in 2 days. You could eke out 2 of these workouts in one day in a non-perfect scenario, but ideally 1 a day and move on with your life. And then next week we get to start training again. Yep,
because the in-person semifinals will begin. That is where we will find you.
I will be there. I will be. Yeah, looking at the schedule, I have the Legends semifinals is April 24th is when that starts.
1 month from tomorrow.
Right? Ooh. Magic City semifinals is May 1st. In affiliate semifinals is May 7th. So I have a calendar, obviously I'm pointing at here, but it just comes and comes and comes once we get through this weekend.
And for the overseas folks, they're going to be in France, in Australia, and then in Colombia in the weeks after the in-person semi. In affiliate semis.
Yep.
So what I believe Colombia is, the LATAM is the latest one.
In June. It's like a month before the games. Yeah.
So good luck to all of those participants.
Yes. Well, Rick, that is it. We've got a busy week ahead of us. I can't wait to hear how it goes for you. If you check in the circle group as a Boulder athlete, the 4 EMOMs are set for tomorrow. If you want to get through those, it's a 9-minute EMOM, 6-minute, 8-minute, 12-minute. It's a nice little well-rounded, everything in the yellow, nothing crazy. You just kind of get a feel for everything at the prescribed weights. Athletes need something to do on Tuesday. Maybe you just need something to shake through or to get a feel for these workouts. I did post this on Instagram, 4 different workouts that you could do. And then Wednesday, take a recovery day. Thursday, hit the ground running and give it your best, right?
Yep, because this is a first step in the process for some. It's the culmination of a lot of hard work getting to quarterfinals and finally being able to pay and be on the leaderboard of quarterfinals. So maybe your year doesn't move past this weekend, so it's a big event. So let's have some fun with it.
Did you register yet? you accept
I
your
did.
invite and register?
I
did
did
too.
I did.
I didn't want to
Yep.
forget. As soon as I said, I'm like,
Nope.
I'm doing it now. I'm not going to forget.
Exactly. I almost bought the patch so that I could send it to you, and you
Really?
could put. Yes, I wasn't
Well,
buying it for myself. I was going to buy it for you.
Well, that would have
And
been
then
super generous.
That stupid checkout cart must have been on my phone. It let me add the patch but not pay now, unless I
Interesting.
pulled the patch out and then I could pay now. So I'm like, well, I guess you don't want me to buy it.
Guess that's
So,
that.
I should have done it from a laptop. But yeah, no, there was an ulterior motive in there.
That's fun.
Very good.
I got you. All right, guys. Well, that's it for our show tonight. Enjoy the week. If you have questions about quarterfinals that we might be able to be helpful on, leave a comment on YouTube. If you're listening here, just go to our YouTube channel or head to Jason Grubb YouTube channel. Listen to this, put a comment in there. We respond to those, every one of the comments. Enjoy the week. We'll see you guys after.
More to come.
This episode is powered by Thirdsy, your go-to for game-changing sleep recovery. Imagine hitting your workouts harder and waking up feeling unstoppable. That's what Thirdsy's PM Recovery Collagen does for me. It's like pre-workout, but for your sleep, fueling your body's active recovery processes without any melatonin or sedatives. Just one scoop before bed supports deeper, more restorative sleep so you can crush your fitness goals. Ready to experience the best rest and recovery? Visit Thirdsy.com and transform your nights into recovery power hours. Thirdsy, because sleep is the ultimate recovery tool. That's THIRDZY.com. Save 20% with code JASONZZZ. Let's get into the show. Thanks for tuning in to the Masters in Motion podcast. We'd be so grateful if you could take a moment to leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or your preferred podcast app. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us reach more listeners and grow our Masters community. Until next time, get bolder, not older.